It's just not acceptable.
At that level.
They looked like garbage. It's crazy that you can lose and the team that beat you is still behind you. And what I'm talking about is the Tyreek Hill situation. Do you see what? No. You see Rolexes. You don't see a big, thick fucking gold chain. If you're a dumb motherfucker, I really don't want you to vote. We're not changing education? Because how is that fucking working out for us? I did say that to somebody about something. It's like, go be a fucking barista, dude. Okay? Because this is not your thing. Okay? Because I get it. There was a time when y'all couldn't vote. Nobody cares now. Nobody's ever trying to take that away. Doesn't end well unless it ends. They never believe me. I would never drop the ball. I know can't just report the fucking obvious.
I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces. That mean you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and
just a motherfucking jump. Just go. And here we go with another podcast. This is the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I am your host, Troy Neff, and we have some shit to fucking get to today. Like a lot of shit, and I'm just going to get right to it right after this. We're going to make this really quick. Of course, over the voice, the other voice that you hear, that is Chase.
Hello.
Chase, how are you, brother?
I'm doing pretty good.
You recover all right? You all good?
Yeah.
You all good? Feeling good?
Thankfully,
right.
a lot better now.
Yeah, I was like, last night. So we're actually, we normally record on Tuesday and Thursday. We're recording on Wednesday now this week, and so there you are. So this show is you're all seeing it on Thursday, at least some of you are. If you're the five of you
we actually get consistently about 45 viewers.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
yeah.
45 of them out there.
It's funnier when I say five.
Yeah, it really
but
is.
It's okay. But it's okay. And I'm all good with how things are going. I'm really super happy with how things are going. But here's the thing with this. So we're doing Wednesday, and we got to do 2 shows today, which is what we're going to do, because tomorrow we're leaving early in the morning. We're getting picked up at 6 o'clock. Brendan is going to be taking us to the airport. Our flight is at 8:47, and we'll be flying into Indianapolis on American Airlines. We're staying at the Omni. I finally booked that. That's the best hotel I could pretty much find there. They had others comparable or similar to the Omni. They really don't have what I would call a true 5-star hotel. There are a couple that call themselves,
the experience isn't really there. Yeah.
No, these are good 4-star hotels, and I've stayed at other Omnis. These are good, so that'll be all right. I changed my Friday reservation at Del Frisco to Thursday night, which is a great steakhouse chain.
Gotcha.
We're going to do that Thursday night because I got us tickets to the Fever on Friday, who just lost recently. So, so looking for them to win on Friday, as they're right there, right in the hunt for the. They already qualified, even with the remaining games for the playoffs for the WNBA. And then I don't know if we mentioned or not, but Reese is out for the rest of the season. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not see that.
She has a wrist injury, and Caitlin made a nice statement, about that being, it's you don't want to see that happen to anybody, even your tough competitors that she's gone up against. So from college and now in the pros. So there you go.
Wow.
So we're doing that, and then shit, dude. My fucking Notre Dame fucking took a shit on Saturday, losing to NIU. And it's so funny because, people can say, well, it's just the MAC. Okay, NIU, Northern Illinois, for quite a while now, if you look at their football history, Toledo can have a bad year now and then, but Toledo is at the top of the MAC on a regular basis.
Okay.
And the other team that's on the top, and the one that to me is their number one nemesis, even though Bowling Green is considered their arch rival because they're just down I-75, 30 minutes.
Right down the street, yeah.
Just right down the street, is NIU. Northern Illinois is perennially a top team in Mid-American Conference football. Now I realize Mid-American Conference football is at the bottom of Division I, but they're consistently they're not a bullshit program, dude. If you fuck around with them, they
They'll show
will
you
beat
something.
you.
Yeah.
I mean, now Toledo beat Michigan one year. Now Michigan only won like 3 or 4 games that year. If it was a horrible year for Michigan, but still, Michigan was still
Able to beat them.
Michigan was still picked to beat Toledo that year.
Really?
You know what I
Even
mean?
having
Even though
that
they sucked.
horrible-
Yeah, but you're a Big Ten school.
Gotcha.
Even your
The
you're
worst top
mediocre
schools.
or you're consistently not good Big Ten schools should beat the MAC schools.
Yeah.
But again, we're talking about the top of the MAC. We're not talking about Akron or Kent State or those who are very rarely at the top of the Mid-American Conference football.
Okay.
Because one of the big all-time upsets people remember and like to pick on Michigan for is Appalachian State, who I don't think Appalachian State was even considered
Like a solid like school like program or anything like
right,
that. Yeah.
right. They were like they're at the top of the next division.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of like that North Dakota State was that played Colorado 2 weeks ago and gave Colorado a game. And then Colorado took a shit on Saturday too. Looked like total garbage. And I love, you know how I feel about Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes, but same problems. To me, the idea that none of these problems are fixed with your offensive line, it's just not acceptable, even for him. It's just not acceptable.
At that level,
They looked like garbage. And they beat Nebraska last year. So now they lose to Nebraska. They look like garbage. But back to Notre Dame. So Notre Dame is my team, has been my team. I expected a lot out of Notre Dame, and most people did this year. That quarterback looks scared to fucking death, okay? And that's after having, a solid game going into Texas A&M and winning that game. But then at home against NIU, you should not lose to NIU. That was not on the radar anywhere. And they had multiple chances during that game to pull that game out. And I blame it on the coaches.
Okay.
And I like Marcus Freeman. I mean, I really, really do. But he's in the hot seat now, like the hot seat.
After
Like,
losing
dude,
to
you
a team like that.
cannot do this. And he's had at least, last year. Last year they played Ohio State, right?
Okay.
And they lost to Ohio State simply because 2 plays in a row, when Ohio State was down near the goal line, they only had 10 defensive players in. And on the second effort, the Ohio State scored and beat Notre Dame, but they only had 10 players. I'm sorry, that's on the fucking coaches. Some blame on the players, but it's on the coaches.
Yeah.
You just cannot let that happen.
need to be
It
managing that much better.
cannot happen, all right? And it's losses like that, and they had brought in a good quarterback last year, an old man. Like, this is a guy that'd been around
For a
college football because of COVID and all these different exceptions these guys get.
Gotcha.
Some of these guys have been hanging around 5-6 years now.
Yeah.
They are old seniors, not 22-year-old, 23-year-old seniors. They're 25-year-old seniors.
That is actually
right?
crazy to think.
Yes, that's been what's, happening. But so it just kind of sucks for the Purdue game. I don't even know how Notre Dame is even ranked number 18 right now. Seriously. They shouldn't even be in the top.
You don't think so?
Dude, you can't do that. Like, that's almost going to count like 2 losses against them. So for them, they have to win out.
The rest of the season.
Win out to get in the playoff. I do not see how Notre Dame as a 2-loss team gets in, because when you compare it to other 2-loss teams, their 2 losses,
Are bigger teams.
one is going to be bigger than the others.
Gotcha.
And you lost at home. At home,
Yeah,
dude.
that
Okay. Again, not good. But that just kind of shits on my weekend. We're going to have a great weekend going to West Lafayette and seeing Purdue play. And Dawn's all excited. And so that's good. So there we go. That's what's coming up. Now, I also did a video on TikTok about these. I drink these Ghost energy drinks, 1 or 2 a day.
Very
It's just
delicious. And the only
very good.
And the beautiful thing about these, the focus you get from drinking one of these is so amazing. Oh my God, you get locked in so quick, so quick.
Yeah, they taste really good. I grew up liking sour candies.
Okay.
Like Sweet Tarts. Sweet Tarts my number 1 candy.
All right.
Okay, of all
Good
time,
to know.
that's my candy. And they're so on point, and the sour apple's my all-time favorite.
Okay.
But everybody has a different favorite. But I saw these being brand new the other day,
I've never
this
seen
past
them, yeah.
weekend at Fry's.
Okay.
And so I said, hey, Don, let's grab a couple of these. We got home. I opened it up. I took a sip, and I was like, holy fucking shit in my head. So I said, you got to try this. And I said it in kind of a way that she really wasn't sure what I thought of it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And because I didn't want to persuade her in any way.
Yeah.
And she turned to me, and I'm like, yeah, I think it's exactly like Welch's grape, like exactly. So I poured Chase one. His cup is sitting over there. It's got ice in it. You know, it's all set to go. I didn't want him to taste it until we were recording. We're recording. Go ahead.
I will. The first thing I will have to say
Yeah,
is
I do want to hear that.
smell. The smell is so strong off of this, and it smells exactly like
Like if you opened
Exactly.
Welch's grape juice. Now, my video, I kept saying grapefruit.
grapefruit.
I'm such an idiot. I didn't even know. I said somebody pointed it out to me. My friend Rich from Indianapolis, of all places, pointed out, like, you meant Welch's grape juice, right? Because you kept saying grapefruit juice in your video. I'm such an idiot sometimes.
All right, let me give it a taste.
Yes,
now.
give it a taste. Right?
That is delicious. You know what this reminds me of more than the grape juice?
What?
In Mexico, we drink a lot of flavored sodas and stuff like this. This tastes very, very similar to something I grew up like drinking.
Like a grape drink that you had,
The
like some type
nostalgia
of
hitting
grape
me right now
soda.
is crazy. Like this
Wow.
is really, really,
But
really
it's good,
It
isn't
is
it? That's
super
like
good.
crazy good.
And a lot of people don't really like grape, but I grew up loving grape. So something like
Yeah.
this is like, I kid you not, goosebumps. Goosebumps.
That's so funny.
Like
That's
yeah.
so
No,
cool.
this is delicious.
Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely start picking up some of these. These are good. So let me ask you: do you like the watermelon one?
No, I'm not a watermelon fan.
Okay, 'cause
I've
the-
tried it though.
The watermelon one is a little too sour for my liking, in my opinion. But this
And I
one
know a
here,
lot of people like the orange cream, but you got to like orange cream.
I like the orange cream.
I'm not big on the orange cream just because I'm not really an orange cream person.
Fair.
I could drink it.
But it's not
It's
your
not
favorite.
my-
You're not
no.
gonna go pick it up on purpose.
No, sour apple's my favorite.
Solid.
Still,
Solid,
this is
solid.
number 2 now.
It's up there.
And then I would probably go with the
Swedish
red
fish.
one, the Swedish fish,
Yeah, that one's good. Yeah.
and then the blue,
The blue
one.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, and to me it tastes like candy. And I think, what are we at? Like a whole can is what, 10 calories?
It's very low. It doesn't have a lot. That's the one beautiful thing about the Ghost products is
It's
that-
10 calories.
Yeah, and it doesn't have too much sugar in it, right?
No sugar
Exactly. Yeah.
and 2 carbs.
No, these drinks they did something right. You know, it always put me off when I first saw them. I really don't know why, but it just felt like a scam to me. It just when I saw those cans, I was just like, I don't know. Especially like the Swedish fish one, like on top of the front of it, I was like, I don't know. It just seems a little too like markety for me. But ever since, oh my god, I haven't gone
I
back.
think I know people like different ones. Everybody has their favorite, but this company to me is right on with their flavors like nobody's business.
I agree.
Like
100%
a
agree.
lot. They're really dead on. Thank you for listening to the Outlaw Apostle podcast. I really appreciate y'all being here. Please, if you can, share this with someone else. It's the number 1 thing you can do for us. The number 2 thing you can do is subscribe. And then number 3, comment, hit the like, do some other bullshit. We appreciate you. Godspeed. I'm the fucking guy. Yeah, I'm just looking at that list that you put up on Notre Dame's schedule. How shitty is that? Because it is kind of shitty, right?
Yeah.
Because it was shitty for Georgia Tech as well for a minute. Like they Georgia Tech beating Florida State. They're not in the top 25. And then you have Northern Illinois, who beats Notre Dame, who's now number 25, and Notre Dame's number 18.
It's funny how rankings work, huh?
It's crazy that you can lose and the team that beat you is still behind you, right?
Oh,
Come on now.
Maybe a
That's
little bit
what's
of bias
silly.
in there.
Yeah, but it is like that. I mean, it's always kind of been
Oh, yeah.
like that, but we'll see. All right, so something else that happened, and seeing other people's responses to this, and I haven't looked at the latest today on this, and if there's been any more reports on the investigation. And what I'm talking about is the Tyreek Hill situation, where Tyreek Hill, basically a block from the stadium, gets pulled over in his McLaren. And it's not like he's on the highway doing 120.
No.
Okay, he's not felony speeding. I may have done that a time or two myself.
Who doesn't? Let's be honest here.
But we'll put that out there. But I was pulled over not too long ago in my Range Rover
Okay.
on not Ellsworth, on Rittenhouse. I was pulled over, and the cop was totally cool. Yeah, we talked, I gave him my stuff. I found my stuff. I, took some time, pulled up my, he went and started doing his thing while I pulled up the insurance on my phone.
Okay.
And things like that.
Yeah.
I just didn't have it handy. And I've never known where once the cop comes up and you talk and you give him your license and information and they go back to the car, has it ever been, it's an issue to put your window back up?
I think it's depending on the cop and how bad or a good day they're having.
You got to understand, like, how do I want to phrase this without making myself sound totally bad, right? And maybe it is what it is.
Yeah.
I've had my fair share of experiences with cops.
Yeah.
Okay. From the time I could drive on, and I shared my one big car chase story, one of the biggest car chases in the country that there's ever been. So I know a little bit about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I do support cops, but I'm not one of there seems to be this group that seems to be all cops all the time. Like, just listen to the cop, even if he's a dick and doesn't matter. Man, I am not in that fucking camp. Okay. And I support the cops, but when the cops don't do right, like they got to be held accountable. And then you have this other camp where it's like the cops are always at fault, and it's just I'm tired of both. I'm tired of both sides. Okay, I really, really am. And I think you got to choose the right situations as a public to make a stand on certain things, that there are sometimes they're sticking up for somebody that had an interaction with the cop and that person didn't deserve to be stuck up for.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is not where you want to plant your flag. This is not the situation. Okay. Now, I've watched the video, and so now that's the one thing that, like, you're taking video, dude. You're taking video. And to me, it's more of the responsibility, whether people like this or not, it's more the responsibility of the cop to de-escalate than it is the citizen, the civilian.
Yeah.
Just my point of view. I think it's more his responsibility to do that.
I agree.
This doesn't seem, it just doesn't seem like that.
He was not having a good day.
People are saying, well, he wanted it because of the dark tint on the windows. Okay, well, here's a real simple answer to that. Hey, man, do you mind, because of your dark tint, you mind keeping the windows down?
Yeah. No, instead he was down.
Dude, he was how about let's run the video. I don't know if everybody's seen the video. I do want to run the video, and then I'm going to have you stop the video at different points too, so we can talk about this as we go. We're just not going to run it through.
Let me know.
Okay, let's see what we got here. So this is the body cam footage from the Tyreek Hill stop. And do we have audio too?
Should.
Yeah. Because I love being able to do this. Is cool. So, Tyreek Hill, it's a few hours before the game. I believe he's on his way to the stadium, literally a block away. Again, he's not on the highway.
Like that, no.
Like what?
Don't knock on my window like that.
Why you have it up?
Don't knock on my window like that.
Why you have it up? I have to knock to let you know I'm here. That way you can look.
Hey, don't knock on my window like that, man. Don't knock on
Why don't you have your seatbelt on?
Don't knock on my window.
Why don't you have your seatbelt
Knock
on?
on my window
Who
like
cares? Write him a
what?
ticket for this shit, dude.
Why you have it up?
that. Don't knock on my window like that.
Why you have it up? I have to knock to let you know I'm here.
Don't knock
That
on
way you
my
can
window.
lower it and talk to
Just
you.
get my ticket, bro, so I can go. I'm finna be late, gang. Do what you gotta do.
Keep it down. Hey! Keep your window down.
Is he putting on his seatbelt?
Yeah.
Why?
Hey.
Because he talked about the seatbelt?
Keep your window
I
down.
honestly, that part kind of confuses me too. Because as a cop, I do have to give the cop a little bit of because as a cop, if I'm watching you put your seatbelt back on when you roll back up the window, personally, I would have some questions. But I don't know if that's just me or not.
What do you think is going to happen? What's crossing your mind?
Like maybe he's ready to go. Honestly, I don't think someone as his
This guy isn't a McQueen.
famous.
He ain't taking off
Exactly,
anywhere. There's multiple cops there, right?
exactly.
He ain't going nowhere, dude.
Yeah.
And
But-
this cop is in no danger.
no,
None at all.
no,
Come on,
none
man.
at all. No, but it is,
And we don't hear from this. What we saw is the original banging 7 times on the fucking window, dude. Like he knows you're there. He rolled the window down.
he
Like
stopped.
chill,
He
like
pulled over for you.
yeah,
what-
like bang, bang, bang. Like, come on, man. I wouldn't like that. You did that on my bed.
Hell
What the
no.
fuck you doing, man?
That's
Chill the
disrespect,
fuck
especially a
out.
car like that. You know how expensive it is to
Yeah, I
fix a
know.
window like that.
Yeah.
Like, come on. No,
Yeah.
I
All
get
right,
that.
go ahead, play
I get that. I get that.
Tell me what.
Keep your window down. I'm gonna get you out of the car. As a matter of fact, get out of the car.
See,
Get
right,
out of
right.
the car.
What? You
Get
just
out
gave him
of
a
the car.
command. Why not let him do that?
He
Why?
gave him
What are you
0.5
changing
of a
it?
second. He
Yeah.
changed his mind in 0.5 seconds. It's kind of funny. He said, "I'm gonna need you to roll." Actually, I'm gonna get you out of the car, like that.
What? This is a normal traffic stop, right? For speeding in a seatbelt. And I've said shit like that to a cop before, dude.
Yeah.
But I get it. I'm white. But I've said it to go like, dude, go ahead, man. I had an instance one time. I was coming back from a Pittsburgh Steeler Cleveland Brown game.
Oh.
And I was on the turnpike and I had a cop pull me over in my Escalade.
Okay.
And I don't know. He asked me like where we've been. Like I used to be a dick. Let's just be honest. Because you asked me where I'm coming from. I don't have to tell you where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Legally, I do not
Legally,
have to
yeah.
tell you where I'm coming from or where I'm going. It ain't none of your business.
100%.
There is no law that says I have to give you that information.
Explanation. Yeah.
But you could see my car's packed, and the way we're dressed and stuff.
Yeah.
We were at the Pittsburgh Steeler game. And Pittsburgh won that game too. And we're just outside of Cleveland, right?
Oh, this was in Cleveland.
Outside of Cleveland,
Gotcha,
on the
gotcha,
turnpike,
gotcha.
headed back to Toledo.
Gotcha.
And so I get pulled over, for speeding, whatever. Dude comes up, and then he asked me, if I had been drinking. Well, I hadn't swerved or anything like that. And I said, I don't drink. And that was during,
When you were
I've been sober for, over 15 and a half years now. Okay. So it was during that, I had been sober for a few years.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't drink. And he made some comment and I was like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, because like, I'll be the judge of that. The judge of what, dude? And he made me get out.
Yeah.
And he tested me,
Sobriety
even
test.
though I didn't give any indication, because I said, like, screw your little sobriety test here, dude. You know what? Get your little thing out and I'll blow in it for you. How about we do that? Oh no, like I can tell. Really, you could tell? Because back when I used to fucking drink, you know how many times you fuckers let me go? When I was drunk? But you can tell. And he's short-lived. And what did he grabbed me at some point and like put, oh dude.
Yikes.
It was everything I could do to not end up in jail and turn and pop that little motherfucker, dude. So I'm just saying I have some experience in
With
these
police.
situations and, you know, about what you legally have to do, what you don't have to do. And I don't have to give you information like that. I can give you have my license and my insurance. You want to write me a ticket? Write me the ticket. Everything else we could take care of in court.
Oh yeah.
And I remember I pissed off a cop one time because I wouldn't I didn't have the insurance card. And he got all pissy about it. I'm like, you know what? It's never been a problem before. As long as I showed proof of insurance, you know, when I go in,
Yeah.
it's been all good.
Yeah.
And he was just a jerk. And he was such a jerk that I did fight it. You know, I would always, and I
Went
do
to
this
court
on
and
a
all that.
regular basis.
Yeah.
I would go in for these situations and I would plead not guilty. Well, now these fuckers got to show up the next time.
Yep. And
right?
if they don't show up,
Right.
there goes the record.
So, like, and I was talking about what a dick this dude was
Yeah.
to the prosecutor, and like, yeah, this ain't cool. I was telling him like, I want video, dude. I want the video. I represented myself.
Hell
You know,
yeah.
I'm telling him I want the video, dude, and I'm going to show the judge this. Well, how about, you know, if we just do like a seat belt and you just pay a fine, you know, so that it doesn't really affect your insurance then,
Yeah.
right? You don't
Yeah,
get
yeah.
any points and stuff. But I'm good at doing that stuff, dude. Like
The
seriously.
debating and the like.
Yeah, the negotiating on that stuff. I'm actually really good. Like I actually rear-ended somebody one time. Like it was totally my fault.
And you had him pay you.
Dude, I couldn't believe it. Because you don't know my file, okay?
Yeah.
Because this is a good story. We're gonna go back for a second. So remember the story, long story, I was in a car chase.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that attorney became a judge in the county that I lived.
Okay.
Okay, so my attorney became a judge. And I used to put on, like I said, 50, 60,000 miles a year
Yeah.
on my vehicle. So I would get 1 or 2 tickets a year. I would get a couple tickets a year. It just
You're
is
constantly
what it
driving,
was.
It's gonna happen. Yeah.
And I was in front of him one time, and he's like, Mr. Neff, do you know how many tickets you've had? I'm like, I don't know. And it was like, I don't know if it was 14 or 16. I don't know how many. And I'm thinking to myself, he must not have them all. And I said, Judge, you know how many? I said, you know how many miles I drive? That's just the cost of doing business. Wrong thing to say. I got the highest, whatever was the highest
The fine,
fine
yeah.
that he could give me, he gave me. Yeah, so that happened. Yeah, so I know a little bit. So this other time when I rear-ended somebody, you know, like my file's thick. If somebody pulls up my history, right? And then I know for a while, my you know, because I was affiliated
Yeah.
with a club,
Yeah.
you know, other things would come up in like, you might want to be careful kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that was like, not armed and dangerous, but
Be cautious.
close, right?
Yeah,
Shit
yeah.
would come up.
Yeah.
So same thing. Like I missed, like they said, like I couldn't make a court date. I was going out of town and they said, well, just come in first thing. I do. And then I was like, the judge is trying to get people to talk to the prosecutor that say, you know, want to plead not guilty.
Okay.
So I explained to the judge what happened, and then I wanted to plead not guilty, and he kept trying to talk me into the prosecutor. I'm like, okay, I'll talk to the prosecutor, because usually that's the next time you come,
Yeah.
right? And so I go back there. This dude is like, has the worst suit on of any attorney I've ever met. like just horrible. I don't know.
Wrinkled.
Like it was a Goodwill suit. It's bad.
Man,
all
picked
right,
it up that morning.
it's not good. And he opens up the file. There's nothing in there. Like, I thought it was odd. So I don't say anything. Literally, I say nothing. And I just let him talk.
Yeah.
And again, it was my fault.
Yeah.
The accident was my fault. Period. And then he looked at it. He goes, you know, what we can do is like, I think it was like a light malfunction or like some stupid thing, like a mechanical thing.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
there was some other word for it. It wasn't light. It was like mechanical or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, this accident was my fault. And he goes, or, you know, if you don't want to do that, we can set it for a date and, you know, trial stuff. And I've said nothing, right? Then it was a long pause, extra long pause.
You really had to think about it.
No, I didn't. Not at all. I'd already made up
You
my
already
mind,
made
dude. Fuck yeah, I did. I said, you know, that's probably fair. I appreciate that. And we went back out there, boom, boom, boom. I don't know, paid like $150 and I'm gone, dude. I don't get accident points, nothing. And it was my fault.
Yeah.
Literally.
No, Troy. It was a mechanical fault.
Unbelievable.
It was the car's fault.
Unbelievable. All right, hopefully you can see it. Whoop, whoop. New shirts. We got the blue shirt for the men who we got the blue ones. This is just for men. The women's, we don't have a blue. We have women coming in gray V-necks. We just have some of them. He's redoing the sleeves because he thought it was too. Anyways, we're redoing the gray ones for the women. But the blue one's for the men. It's got the fight on it, baby. It's got the fist. And, of course, the flag, because you don't like the flag, you're not my people. And then the Outlaw Fitness logo, so you too can be a part of the Outlaw Fitness
Phone's in the
family.
way.
What's that? Phone's in the way. That's all right. Leave that in there.
Yeah, that's okay.
So the Outlaw Fitness logo on the sleeve as well. Great response from the shirts. This is basically, it doesn't say Trump on here anyways, but we know what this means, man. Fight, fight, fight. $30. Message us, get your shirts. And we still have some of the red ones left, which are the MAGA shirts, the Only Felons, super popular. And when they're gone, they're going to be gone. That's it. That's what we're doing. I'm the fucking guy. But this is aggressive right away.
Oh, yeah.
His tone is aggressive. Everything is aggressive. Why? And I want to know this, because obviously
He had a
this
parlay.
is a racial issue. I mean, it's going to be seen from a racial point of view. And I totally get that, especially in this instance. I'm also wondering, though, how much, not race, but is it about the fact that he's a high-paid athlete driving a very expensive car?
Yep.
And the salaries, the contracts that athletes, the money that bands, musicians, singers, actors are getting now, obviously they're the biggest numbers anybody's ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
Ever seen. Huge numbers. People that are mediocre are mediocre athletes, mediocre quarterbacks, okay, are cashing in big, okay, huge money. And I see a lot of stuff on social media that is negative towards these guys that has nothing to do with them personally, but just they don't deserve that money. Well, look, because I heard two guys talking about it at the gym yesterday.
Okay.
And I'm just
keeping an ear out.
listening. And they're talking about contracts and how much people are getting paid and stuff. And I don't want to say I get it. I understand what they're saying, but I don't think they get it.
Understand. Yeah.
Because here's the issue, is that I'm not going to see the fucking owner. And I had a solution years ago.
Okay.
Okay. And I'll tell you what my solution was. Okay. The problem is that cities and states have given businesses, automakers. We did it in Toledo for Jeep.
Okay.
We had an old Jeep plant. They built a new Jeep plant. Okay. And there's this land, and they're going to build this $1 billion, factory on it, or however much it is. And we're going to give them tax breaks for 20 years.
Okay.
They're not going to pay any taxes on it or whatever. Okay. To get them to stay here.
Yeah.
Because if we don't give that to them, some fucking place in Tennessee is going to give it to them.
Oh yeah.
That's the problem. The problem is that that's part of it. And if that wasn't part of it, then these teams and these owners for these stadiums, most of the time, the city or state is contributing a big chunk of money.
A good amount of money.
Dude, it could be all of it to, 30% or whatever. It's wide ranging.
Yeah.
The deals that are made.
Depending on
Sure.
stadium,
It's
season, et cetera,
absolutely
et cetera, et
part.
cetera.
But if these billionaire owners, and I support billionaire owners, like you know how I am.
Oh, yeah.
But if they had to cover it themselves, things would be different.
Much, much different.
They would be different. And if they have money coming, going out for that, then maybe salaries are still going to be high. Contracts are still going to be
But
high.
not in the multi-millions and all that extra
Not
stuff.
250 million, not 500 million. Okay. That stuff probably isn't happening yet if they have to put the money in because if I open up a carryout, I have to buy the fucking carryout or rent the carryout building.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not getting a tax break. Now we do that kind of stuff. That's a big part of it. But again, my point is the amount of money that they're getting is coming from people who believe that person gives them value.
Yeah.
So, look, I offer Ghost no value whatsoever. But if I did have a value, was well known, and Ghost wanted to pay Troy $100,000 to always have a Ghost can sitting here, okay, and mentioning it or whatever, they obviously believe that through my social media and my influence, I'm going to generate them way the fuck over $100,000.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to pay me $100,000 to generate them 20.
Yeah.
That's not the way it works.
Oh, yeah.
You pay somebody, and it doesn't always work. It's a gamble.
100%.
Whether it's a movie or whether it's a sports team, it's a gamble. You're paying this actor $25 million, and then you got another $50 million in the rest of the actors and the director and the budget and to pay the people who do the lighting and everything. So you got $75 million in this movie.
Yeah.
You're expecting to get more than $75 million, and you're expecting a big part of that draw to come from the guy you pay $25.
Yep.
Right? That's what we do.
Yeah. 100%.
That's why we do it. And things are changing. The whole landscape, as you and I have talked about, are dramatically changing in social media and where this money is going. And again, y'all that don't like billionaires, if they don't pay it to the player, the billionaire keeps it. What do you think is going to happen with that money?
Oh yeah.
You think more homeless people are going to be fed? What the fuck do you think is going to happen with that? That's not how it works. But there is this whole thing, always. It's a constant thing, and I'm tired of hearing about it. And I hate to say shit about it because I'm not trying to shit on teachers. Okay? But I'm over hearing how poorly teachers are compensated.
Yeah.
You know what? Don't be a fucking teacher then. Don't be a teacher. You don't want to be a teacher? Don't be a teacher. It is a choice. But to tell me that some teacher has more value than one of 32 quarterbacks in the NFL is not true. That's not how it works. And how much does the teacher deserve? And the teachers could have different contracts too. Instead, they have these shitty unions that don't give a two fucks about kids. But I have answers, dude. I'm not like other people who bitch about shit. I have answers. I've thought about this shit. I had a radio show. I talked about this shit
I think we
for
talked about
years,
it in an earlier podcast.
Well, a little bit. I brought it up. But my whole thing is they should have like a basic contract like they do in the NBA or something like that if they're going to be unionized.
Yeah.
But then they should be able to negotiate on their own. And we live in a state in Arizona where it's great to be a parent and a kid because you got more choice in the state of Arizona than any other place in the nation. All different types of private schools, charter schools, everything.
There's a school down every street.
And literally that specialize in different things,
Yeah.
different types of sciences, different kinds of mechanical things, arts, you name it. Whatever the kid's interest is, you can even find a specific school that is going to help them more in that area.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's huge.
You're not wrong.
If I want to be known as a high school that really is a top school for mathematics, I want to be able to go get the best teachers. And I should be able to pay that negotiate with that teacher whatever I want. Because do people not get it? That there are teachers who have only been teaching for 5 years that are better than a teacher who's been teaching for 15 years.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
and
yeah,
the opposite is true. There's teachers that have been teaching for 15 years. Because here's the real truth nobody wants to deal with. You have your top 20% of teachers. Everybody has their top 20% that are the best.
Yeah.
And those are your really good teachers that go above and beyond and are exceptional. And when you remember as an adult, when you remember your youth, those are the teachers that come back to your mind.
Oh, yeah.
That teacher was a top 20% teacher. The next 60% of teachers, they're mediocre.
They show up to work.
They're mediocre.
That's all they do. Yeah.
They're mediocre. Every job has mediocre employees. I'm not shitting on this. You're just a mediocre teacher.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But guess what? What's left? We've covered 80%.
Jesus.
Guess what's left? We have 20% of teachers that suck ass, that are not good teachers, that probably shouldn't be teachers and should be fired, and we can't fire them. Why can't we fire them? Teachers union. Right?
You know,
And they protect the worst ones. That's what unions do. They protect their worst people.
You know,
True?
it's,
Yeah,
no,
go ahead.
no, I can see that. I can see some controversies, not controversies. What's the word? Jesus Christ. No, but what I was gonna say was, I would love to. I love the idea of teachers, kind of basically, you know how like they do drafts and stuff like that. I love the idea of that being like how we do like teachers, how every year we get like all the different schools get together and they're like, all right, we're picking this teacher
From this school. From Arizona State. Beth Miller's drafted by Chandler High School.
Yeah, something like that. I can only imagine. Oh man,
That's funny.
that actually would.
But
Honestly, would be fun. But
right.
yeah, your point. Yeah, for sure.
But my point is they should be paid based on their performance and how good they are.
I agree.
And they're not paid on that because it's their own fucking fault. If they want change it, baby. Change it. I'm all for that. But that comes with competition. Why are we assuming that the way we've done education for the last 60 years is the way we should do it for the next 60?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Other shit changes, dude. Transportation changes.
That is.
We used to fucking
Jesus
travel
Christ.
by
We
walking
used to
and
walk.
horses. That's how we traveled. Now, you can still travel that way.
Yeah.
You ain't going to get very far very fast.
Not very fast. No.
Right? Yeah. You're just not. So why not? Things change. My grandma, I brought up my grandma before. She had a party line phone. A party line phone, which most of you motherfuckers have no idea what it was, is when you had a phone at home that was plugged in. Ask your parents, grandparents. Ask your grandparents. And you didn't have your own line. You picked it up and you shared a line with 3 of your fucking neighbors. And if your neighbor was talking to their grandma, you couldn't make a call.
You get to eavesdrop instead.
But if you had an emergency, you have to say, hey, I don't mean to interrupt Irene, because her name was Irene.
Yeah.
Because they were old names. You like that, how he did that?
Irene.
Irene, I'm not feeling well. I need to call my son, see if he could pick me up and take me, to the hospital or whatever.
Yeah.
And Irene would have to hang up so that Betty could call her son to come pick her up.
Yeah.
Okay? You get what I'm saying here?
I get
We don't
what you're
communicate that way anymore, dude.
Definitely not. No, we try to avoid people as much as possible nowadays. Most people do, at least. Definitely just try to like shelter away from people and stay away from the.
This is how we communicate.
Oh yeah.
Social media, phone. This is a computer now. I remember you weren't even motherfucking alive yet. Weren't even alive. The first computers didn't even have internal hard drives. They were external, and you had floppies. These big plastic things. And then you got hard plastic things, okay, that could hold more.
Yeah.
And then we got discs along with the hard drives. And this phone that I'm holding in my hand is easily 100 times more powerful than the computers we had in the early 90s. 100 times. It's not even close.
I was about to say, probably even more
I'm
than that, to be honest
probably
with you.
way the fuck off and way too low. Right?
Yeah, the modern phone can do so much. So much. It's actually kind of like crazy.
Things have changed. So why does everything else change? But we're not changing education? We're not changing education? Because how is that fucking working out for us? Is it really best to keep these kids in classrooms, sitting there? That's the best way to teach them?
Probably not, but it probably, again, getting back into conspiracy theories, but, sometimes you got to educate people the way you want them to be educated to thrive for your society or whatnot. So, but
or
again,
not thrive for your society.
Exactly.
So,
again,
all of
conspiracy.
that. Look, we started out, we were on Tyreek Hill, dude.
No, I think
this is crazy.
I think all this kind of correlates
Well,
to it.
good.
Though.
I hope so. So I've been there.
Yeah.
I know what it's like in these types of traffic stops. I don't know what it's like to be a rich black athlete getting stopped in these cases. But I mean, I'm not saying that he deserved. I'm not asking for special treatment.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck your Tyreek Hill. Dude, just put your fucking seatbelt on and get to the fucking stadium and chill the fuck out.
Use your ticket.
You know what?
on.
Like, no ticket. I'm not even asking for special, like, if you get that, fine. If you don't. Because sometimes we get special treatment. I got special treatment that day. That cop was totally cool with me. I was cool with him. I'm not the dick I used to be all the time. You know what I mean?
Troy has grown.
I've grown. But how they approach matters too.
Oh, 100%. The demeanor of the police officer as soon as they pull up changes the interaction completely.
And I'm responsible for how I respond, but I don't have a really good history of responding well to assholes.
No, that's fair. I don't either.
I mean, you give me asshole, you usually
gonna get
get
back.
asshole,
Oh, yeah.
Kind of back. You know what I mean?
You
Like-
get what you receive. Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's but I mean, that's like, this should not have been that hard. Again, this is a simple traffic stop. Now it would be different, and we didn't hear anything like this. Let's say he had a warrant out for his arrest or a warrant out for any other reason. That would be different.
To give you some sort of caution prior to going up to the car.
Anything, dude.
Yeah.
Anything. Or just that he was wanted for failure to appear, or just anything, dude. Give
sort of
me
motive.
something.
Yeah.
It's
Nothing.
not like this is
Nothing,
simple traffic stop. And I go back, I wish I could remember the guy's name in New York that died, and he should have never died, because the cops killed him over selling individual cigarettes, which was against the law.
Oh, that's a few years back.
It's back. But, dude, that should have never, ever happened, dude.
Yeah.
It's a handful of cigarettes. There's way better ways to handle that than how that was handled. Okay, that wasn't the one. No, that was one where people should have stood up and been on that guy's side.
Oh, yeah.
Versus the other thing that didn't happen, as far as, you know, hands up, don't shoot. Like, yeah, that never happened. That was investigated. Obama investigated. It wasn't true. But, you know, people took the wrong side on that one. No, this is, and I just don't understand. Oh, these are the comments I was reading on another talk radio host that I know on his Facebook page. And I was just really surprised by his take of it.
Yeah.
And the take of, then he generated a lot of that stuff. And I'm like, no, man, this is not cool. I'm sorry. I'm going to call this shit out. This is not cool. I'm not saying Tyreek was perfect or, you know, didn't have, but it didn't warrant this, dude.
Especially as a police officer.
And the police officer had a responsibility to de-escalate. There's no reason it had to get like this. He didn't even try.
He didn't try. No.
He didn't try.
No.
In fact, he escalated it quickly. He raised the bar.
Very quickly.
I'm sorry, motherfucker, somebody pissed in your Cheerios or that you have a stressful job.
Yeah.
If you are not capable of your stressful job, get a fucking different one.
Go make some coffee at Starbucks.
I did say that to somebody about something. It's like, go be a fucking barista, dude. Okay? Because this is not your thing.
This is not for you.
So let's continue to play.
Yeah.
Let's continue to play this.
The car right now. We're not playing this game. Get out.
Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. What part of blood are you in this?
It takes three of them.
Hey, Drew, I'm getting arrested, Drew.
Was he not willing to get out?
No, he said it. He said he will.
Getting arrested, Drew.
I think he was just.
He's talking to
he
Drew
was on his phone.
Rosenhaus's agent.
Yeah.
Because
Because he says right here.
Get out.
He says, "I'm getting out."
Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out.
He says,
He already has his leg out, dude.
Yeah, he said, "I'm
he
getting
already
out.
has his
I'm
leg
getting
out.
Yeah. And then he.
But this
drags him
cop
out.
has never gotten out of a car like that, dude. You want to see me get out of my fucking
That's
car
just
like that,
low.
dude? It takes me a fucking second, dude. And then this.
When we tell you to do something, you do it. You understand?
And then you
understand?
need to
Not
put
for
your
but
need to
when we
put your
tell you.
knee in his back. You couldn't have gotten him out and stood him up.
Surgery on my knee.
And then
I just
this.
had surgery on my knee, bro. I just had surgery
Really?
on
What a
my knee,
coincidence.
bro.
I just surgery in your ears when we told you to put your window down.
Chill, bro. Chill.
Your advisors
That was
are worried
insane,
that,
dude.
Excuse me.
It's so crazy how like quick he was to like act. Instead of like he was so quick to give like judge like orders and this and that, and they didn't even give him a few seconds to like actually comply to the orders. Instead, he was like, "Get out of the car." Oh, I'm pulling you out of the car now. Like,
Yeah.
give him some time. Like, I
It
don't
was
know.
just not necessary, man. I'm
nowhere
sorry, it
near
was not necessary.
No.
And I'm not going to say that's okay. And that was all on Tyreek Hill.
No, I mean he had a little
No.
bit of mouth at the beginning.
80-20,
But-
70-30.
Yeah,
But the 70-80 is on the cop.
I agree.
On there.
I
That's
agree.
that's my point of view on it. If somebody don't like that, I don't give two motherfucks. That cannot happen in today. That cannot happen. We want to support the police. We need to support the police. It cannot happen. This cannot. That's not how we do this and get more police and fund the police. And this is why we get all those crazy motherfuckers and people protesting and doing other stupid shit, because you give them this. You give them this.
You give him a reason to.
And it's some Cuban cop, you could tell.
Yeah,
Okay?
an accent to it. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's not some white cop, okay? But still, that's why I bring up the whole money thing and bring up the social media with the memes and things and people talking about teachers and firemen and policemen and how much money they make versus that it's causing a I don't know how we fix it. I mean, I do have some answers. I don't have all the answers.
Yeah.
But it's causing this greater division in the country, the us against them. But I'm going to be, my point of view, a lot of it comes from Democrats now. A lot of it comes from the left in pitting poor people versus wealthier people, the middle class versus everybody, you know, because the middle class is pissed that they don't get shit like poor people do. They don't get handouts, they don't get help, and then they don't have enough money like the wealthy people do. So they feel like, you know, it would be better to either be poor or rich, one or the other. But it ain't good to be middle class because you're just working and you just get fucked on.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And I think that it's being perpetuated for political purposes. And I think that plays a role in this too. And I don't know how many people are really going to bring up that angle of it versus just race, because I think it's more than just just race. I think it's also economics, that it's financial and how much they have and things like that.
Like almost like came from a jealousy standpoint.
Yeah, jealousy. Absolutely. I absolutely, that was my thought process in this, was the jealousy.
He saw him,
this.
he understood who he was, like what he like does, and that is probably what.
But dude, you see his chain?
That shit was
chain,
thick as fuck.
dude,
God.
that chain is 6-7 times that dude's fucking yearly salary. Because I've been looking at gold chains.
Yeah.
I don't have one. Do you see one yet? Do you see one? No. You see Rolexes. You don't see a big, thick fucking gold chain yet, do you? No. And there's a reason. That shit is bank, man, right now, man.
Yes, it is.
It ain't like it was. And I had some nice gold that I regret getting rid of now, like you ain't ever believe, man. I got this shitty little gold bracelet now that it looks okay.
Yeah.
But dude, it's got no weight at all. It's garbage, man. It's garbage. I had nice thick ass shit that had weight, man. But, you know, price went up. I was broke. I sold shit. I did shit.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I did what I had to do.
No, that's fair.
But I'm just saying, yeah, that was some thick shit he was wearing. And I don't know what it was crusted with either. So who knows? But still, yeah.
No,
I think
that was
that's
one of the
part
first
of it.
things I noticed when
Well,
he rolled
all
the
right.
window down. I was like, oh god damn, that chain's fucking fat. Fat chain.
You know what? I was surprised because he's almost to the stadium. Is it just away games they dress up?
I don't know. I think it's up to the player.
Because
Or
he's
the-
just wearing sweats, dude. Like sweats and a wife beater.
Because that was a home game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
So I think it's away games where they.
Well, I was just surprised he's showing up in sweats.
He's also
You know,
Tyreek
because
Hill,
if
so-
you've seen that never was a thing either. These guys, like even the white dudes, because the black dudes, let's just be honest, they got more style.
Oh yeah.
When it comes to dressing up. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. But the white dudes are wearing some cool ass shit now.
Oh yeah.
Kelsey's wearing some good shit. Kittle, you see the outfits
love
these
Kittle.
dudes
Yeah,
wear
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Like, dude. And they're being critiqued on their outfits that they're wearing from the
before the
parking
game.
lot into the locker room.
Yep.
Because Kelsey just wore this cream color thing that looked like it had been dipped in coffee. It did, dude. Like,
Interesting.
the internet tore him up on his outfit that he wore from the parking lot to the locker room. Tore him up, man. Like, yeah, they did not think it was all that cool.
That's always fun to think.
It's so funny.
Just
dude.
some because I mean I understand what you're talking about because in soccer typically like the team will travel in like a bus or whatever, and when they get off like all of them are wearing like suits and this and that.
Yeah.
And that's
But
funny.
Tyreek Hill, he's wearing
He just
fucking
sweats.
And gray sweats.
Yeah.
Right? Gray sweats of all things. Right? He's not even wearing dolphin
He
sweats.
didn't even
He ain't
care,
got
yeah.
dolphin shit on. Right? But that's fine. Whatever. But you can do that, and that's all good. But I totally think that was totally bullshit. They did put, I believe, just one cop. Again, I haven't, and I will stay with this and see what happens, but I didn't get to check in with that. I will do that. And if we need to talk about it more, we will, because I think it's important because, and here's the reason it's important too. It's important because I'm one of those people that didn't like the kneeling. I'm just going to be telling you, I didn't like the kneeling because you know where I stand on that. I stand that when it comes to the flag, love your country, hate your government.
Yep.
But the flag is for all of us. And we have American problems. We have American privilege. Okay. We live in the best motherfucking country in the entire fucking world. You know, we don't have serious problems. You want serious problems? Go to Gaza. Okay. Go to Gaza. That's serious shit. Okay. And then wonder when people are going to cross your border and rape your women and kill children. And they were attending a concert, you know, the 1,200 Israelis that were killed when that October 7th, when they came and invaded and, you know, just out of the blue, man. Who wants to live like that?
Just constantly in fear.
Or live where you're in the center where every motherfucker around you would rather see you dead, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We live in a great country. We really, really do. So you have that. And then more recently now, and they did it on Thursday night, on the opening night in Brazil, they played the Black National Anthem. And how do I want to say that? We have one national anthem. And I understand that there might be issue with, you know, the second verse that we don't sing, that people don't like. Okay. We are one country. We are Americans. We do not, I don't want to be separated from my black brothers like that. My black brothers, I call them, they're just my brothers. My brothers are my brothers. And anyone who really knows me knows that that's just how I don't think about race and shit like that. And I'm not going to, and I don't want to be forced to, because I grew up being told over and over and over again that it didn't matter. And if I do not like you, I promise you, I don't like you because I just don't like the person that you are. And it will never have to do with the tint of your skin, ever. It's just, I think you're an asshole. I think you're a piece of shit human being. I think you just are morally corrupt. And you can have whatever opinion you want of me. But if you just hate me because I'm a white dude, you're a racist. You are a racist. People who are now voting or will be voting predominantly because of, I'm not voting for Trump because he's white. And I'm not voting for Kamala Harris because she's black. We still don't know a single fucking policy. Still a single one. I know Trump policies. So when you tell me that Trump and his
followers.
No. His policies regarding putting tariffs on goods coming from places like China are going to be a tax and cause me to pay more. Okay, well, they said that during the first 4 years when he placed those tariffs on, and it didn't happen. It didn't increase prices, and it did force these countries to make changes. And these tariffs that he placed on China are still in place today. And that means Biden didn't undo them. And Biden undid a lot of Trump shit. But he didn't undo them. Why didn't he undo them? And so, like, don't tell me that Trump is going to cause prices to go up, because my experience with Trump was that prices didn't go up.
Yeah.
My experience with Trump was that energy was cheap, and that puts money in everybody's. You want to put money in middle class and poor people's pockets quickly. The fastest way you can do that is lower their energy costs for the gas in their cars and the heating and cooling of their homes. That is the fastest way to give people spendable money to do other shit with, whether it's pay bills, pay off credit cards, or just buy more shit.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do in this country. We buy more shit.
Yes, we do.
We do. And I get it. All right. I really, really do. So I know that experience. So again, but when you vote for somebody because of their color, when you vote for somebody because of their gender, so when you vote for somebody because of their color, that is racist. If that is the number, well, I'm black, she's black, so I'm going to vote for her because she's black. Or if you're white and you're voting for her because she's black, well, we need a black woman. Okay, you're racist and you're a misogynist. Okay, because you're voting based on race and gender.
Things that have nothing to do with someone that can run a country.
Dude, I have, and most of my Republican friends that at least people that I come in contact with,
Yeah.
and I come in contact with a lot of fucking people, I have no issue voting for a woman.
Yeah.
I just want a conservative woman. I want a woman the same way I want a guy. It does not matter to me. It literally does not matter to me that there is not a barrier. That is not a barrier like it was 20 years ago or especially 50 years ago. Okay, because I get it. There was a time when y'all couldn't vote. I get it. Nobody cares now. Nobody's ever trying to take that away. Not from you and not from anyone else. Nobody is trying to suppress the vote, except this. I will say this. If you're a dumb motherfucker, I really don't want you to vote. I don't know where CNN found those people last night after the debate. Well, they found them before the debate, but they found people who were undecided on the upcoming election to watch the debate and then ask them questions, and they give them a dial so that they can like record how they feel about different things the candidates are saying during the whole debate, right? But if you're one of those people on that CNN panel last night, you are dumb as a motherfucking box of rocks, okay? I just think you're stupid. You're telling me in September of 2024, you don't know who you're going to vote for? You really don't know. You're just now paying attention. You're just now trying to figure it the fuck out. I think you just want attention.
Oh, yeah.
That you do know, but you want to seem smarter. This is like, I'm not a fan of independence either. I'm just going to be honest. I'm not a fan of independence. And here's why I'm not a fan of independence. What the fuck do you believe, man? All Republicans aren't the same. All Democrats aren't the same. But what I don't like about a lot of independents, not all, a lot. Maybe you could convince me if you're an independent. But what I really don't like is this air that you're better than the rest of us because you consider both sides. I'm not on one team. I consider both sides. Get the fuck out of here, man. You are roadkill. That's what you are. You are roadkill. You're going to get run the fuck over. And I'm a part of, and I've probably been in the place that I am now politically. So I'm 56, 18. I didn't get to vote for Reagan. I graduated in 86. So you're looking at 38 years. And I would probably say for 18, even though it was post-Reagan, I didn't get to vote for him. I was a big Reagan person. And I would say my first 18 to 20 years, as an adult, I was a Reagan conservative.
Okay.
And I still consider myself a Reagan conservative. But there came a time between Reagan and Trump where I guess it happened sometime after 9/11. And today happens to be 9/11. It happened after 9/11 when I was still in the camp of trusting George Bush and that whole neocon crowd of, look, to me, it didn't matter if Iraq had anything to do with 9/11 or not. They weren't complying with the things from the first Gulf War, and we could have went in there any fucking time we wanted because they weren't complying. That's how that shit works. Okay, when you have like a truce or a treaty or whatever, and they're supposed to do certain things and they're compliant, and Iraq wanted people to believe that they had weapons that they didn't have. That's their fault. Then you got your ass kicked. Tough for you, dude. I don't feel bad for you. Like, I don't care. I didn't care about that, whether they actually had it or what they had was really old or whatever. They wanted America to believe that they did have them. And why wouldn't we believe them? So I didn't have a problem. I did after his number, when it just drug on and on and on. Yeah, I start to question that shit, dude. Really. And then I got to a place where I'm more of a conservative than I am a Republican. I'm a conservative first. And I just happen to be a member of the Republican Party, or that's the party I generally vote for. But to me, the best, there's no third party option. There just isn't. The libertarians, which I like some libertarian views, but libertarians, if you've ever seen any of their conventions, they're crazy people. They're nuts, man. Like, they're like a little off the deep end. Like, yeah, I can't associate with that kind of shit. And so the best option, because you really can't have our system just isn't designed for multiple parties, like in some countries, like 5 or 6 or 8 parties, and 5 of them get together and have a coalition and all the different shit they do. We're not set up like that. That the best option was to change the Republican Party from the inside. And that's what's been happening from, the different time when you have these different groups of Republicans that you hear about, different groups of conservatives that stick together. And they have them on the Democratic side too. They have these different caucuses, they call them, okay? These different groups that, have different issues or vote certain way and things that they promote. And so then it just kind of melted into Trump. And the people that are being trotted out now, like by Democrats, like you have Dick Cheney. They used to hate Dick Cheney. Like, they made a movie about hating Dick Cheney. There's a movie about it, dude. Yeah, there's a movie. They hated that dude. Hated him. Like, with a passion. Because they thought Bush was stupid and Dick Cheney was running the country. So they hated Dick Cheney. Okay. And so Dick Cheney is supporting Kamala Harris. Dude, those rhinos like that, these people that like were old Republicans who are doing that kind of shit, the people, and I'm in the majority side of the Republicans like that, we're like, fuck you, dude. You're just a piece of shit. We don't give to you. I don't know who they think they're persuading with that. Or his daughter, Liz Cheney, who's a fucking nut job too. Like, y'all can go fuck yourself. We don't care. Those are elite Republicans. See, what they used to do is there are people that controlled the country is they wanted, because people who said there's not a big difference between the Republicans and the Democrats. They're all the same. They're all really same. They're same. They're on opposite sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Okay, is what they would say. And as long as they fell within this range that these other elites, bazillionaires could control, they didn't care who won, this one or this one, because it's not that big a difference up there. Okay. Well, some of us aren't happy with that. And Trump was never supposed to win. Trump wasn't a part of that group. They did everything to stop him, and they were blown away when he won. And because they threw everything at him. And then they came at him when he was president. And then they got him on the next run, and then they threatened him about running again. and they're scared to fucking death he could win again. But that's where we're at. So I was saying all that because I was saying about the kneeling, about the country, and, you know, like I said, with the NFL, with their, like, I don't like that, man. I don't want to be split up like that. I don't want there to be a black national anthem. I
didn't even know there was one.
Yeah, there is. People pissed about that shit, dude. They do it at the Super Bowl and stuff. And yeah, like,
It's a little questionable, to be honest with you.
dude,
I
dude, can you imagine if we're going to call the other one the white national anthem?
That's what I'm saying.
Are you
Like-
motherfucking kidding me? Are you serious? So there's a black national anthem and one for everyone else. Come on, man.
They're gonna start handing out a national anthem to every race.
Look, if we really need to have a conversation about a different national anthem,
yeah,
then let's fucking have it then. If we really have to, if it's that important, then let's do it. But I want one that's for all of us. I don't want one that is not inclusive, because you cannot call it the Black National Anthem and include me. That's not a thing.
that's not how that works.
It's not how it works.
There's a reason they named something like that.
That's going to be a tagline of mine, I think. I say that a little bit, don't I?
What?
That's not how it works.
That's not how that works. You're not wrong. That's something we put on a shirt.
That is not how it works. But I don't want to be divided like that with my fellow Americans. Now,
Another conspiracy. Do you think it was done on purpose?
what do you mean?
Like to start the separation of the United States? Because there's been a lot of talk recently, or at least from what I've heard, about like a lot of like our future heading into like a civil war, almost like some sort of thing like that. So do you think it's again conspiracy theory, but do you think it was done to start the separation?
I think the separation's been going on for a minute.
Yeah. But to kind of, because again, like the national anthem, that's something it gets played everywhere. Baseball, football, basketball, this and this and that. So by giving the country something so big that can be well known to separate people, even from the
It's
outside
just not
of the
good, dude.
No.
It's just
Oh, no. No.
it doesn't serve any good purpose.
No.
Does it really make black people feel better?
I'm sure there's some that
No,
feel better because
I want
of
to
it.
know. Does it really make someone feel better?
I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's a
I
good
don't
amount
know.
because you get something that's to you, right?
And then you get like
I don't think it's gonna.
It's
I don't,
not a good message.
No, I don't think
It's
it works
not a
out
good
in
message,
the
dude.
long run. But I do think there is a good amount of people that are like, "This is for us," right? Like they feel like it was specifically made for a group of people. Although, in my opinion, I don't. In the grand scheme of things,
Dude,
I
just
it
don't
doesn't
want to
come out
be
right.
that close to that shit. I don't want to be there.
Like if you're gonna make a second,
That's
anthem, just
going back. That's
replace
going
the first
backwards,
one.
man. That shit's going backwards.
Oh yeah, because then
That's truly going backwards.
Because
That's not.
we're just going to be divided within the country, and then each corner of
I
the
don't want
country is
that,
going to
man.
have a different national anthem. Like
I do not give a motherfuck what color you are, and I want my brothers to be my brothers, and like I just do not want that at all. So there's my Tyreek Hill take. I think it's bullshit.
I agree.
I really, really do, and I
think the cops should have done much better.
I don't know if it wasn't extreme to be fired,
Yeah,
but you get 30 days no pay.
Something.
You get 30 days no pay and some other bullshit, whatever it is. What did this say at the top of this? This was 8 hours ago.
Yeah. Tariq Hill calls for firing a police officer
Yeah,
after
because that's
traffic
not what
stop.
he said. That's interesting.
Yeah, it was like one of the first things I clicked onto. Yeah, but
Careless driving. What was your careless driving? I thought
Without the
I thought it was
seatbelt.
speeding.
without the careless driving and failure to wear a seatbelt.
See, but the main thing is race, and I think there's more going on here than race.
I
do.
I 100% agree.
Oh,
with
that was September 9th.
for this.
Yeah. So Monday, right? Yeah. But anyways, there we have it. Like, I just don't understand some people's take. The cop was wrong. It's that
I
simple.
agree.
You know, the whole idea, you just listen to people. Like, I get it to a point, but that was just crazy.
It was.
No, go down. I want to see what those comments were at the bottom of there. Tyreek was being a huge dick, rolling the window up as the officer was trying to talk to. The officer had his fucking license in his hand. Go back and write the fucking
what else do you
ticket,
need
dude.
to talk about? Yeah.
Well, he does say there's still no reason for the officer to act like that. It was on him.
Just keep your window rolled down.
Guy who broke
cooperate.
his baby mama's jaw and his son's arm. Look, that has
has
nothing to
nothing
do,
to do
with this incident, dude. Shut the fuck up. Just keep your window rolled down and cooperate. Yeah, they did pull him over for no reason. No, they pulled him over for a ticket for speeding.
There was a reason.
Come
he was
on, man.
Pulled over.
I mean, have you ever you've been in my vehicle, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're gonna tell people. So I don't wear my seatbelt.
Oh,
I don't. I have these little clips I bought on Amazon that like these little like that are
The
just what's
seatbelt,
on
like-
the seatbelt things that I just put in there.
Makes driving a lot more comfy. I'll tell you that. You don't get the car beeping at you every 5 seconds.
I just don't. I don't wear a helmet. I don't wear.
You know, first when you said that, I was like, yeah, I
wear a
don't think
seatbelt?
any of us wear helmets when we drive.
We're not driving-
Yeah, I
on my
know.
motorcycle,
I
man.
understood. Yeah, I understood. But for like when I first heard it, I was like, wait
So
a minute.
how long are we into this?
We're at 123.
We're at hour 23
Yes, sir.
on this.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's the whole show. We got another show to do.
Yeah,
I'll
well-
do the rest of the show on another show. I didn't know I really did that for an hour and 23 minutes? Yeah. The fuck did I say? Wow, dude.
It was. I like this podcast though. It was interesting. I really want to get into the whole like because when you said the whole like independent thing and stuff like that, I have maybe a question or two for you about
Yeah.
that. So maybe on the next episode here in a few minutes we'll get down into that.
All right. So, yeah, and to think that I started the whole podcast shit to talk more about testosterone.
We've done like 3 episodes out of 31.
Dude, did I miss this shit or what? Like, because this is what I used to do for 4 hours every fucking morning back in Toledo, man. Just do my thing, talk about what I want to talk about. But we had commercial breaks, you know. I think out of an hour, we'd probably get probably between 40 and 45 minutes
Of cotton.
of content.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it was like. All right. We appreciate y'all. All right. This is the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm Troy Neff, your host. I'm the fucking guy.
Whoa! Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believed me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces. That mean you really playing with your life.